Hello and welcome to Is It Fast Live, the weekly magazine programme where myself and other Stu pick our favourite news topics from the world of motorsport, automotive, and everything in between. And it has been a busy but also a little bit of a sad week this week, which of course we shall explore in due course. But how are you, Stu? How has your last 7 days been, my friend?
It has been very good, but I'm more interested in you, Stu, because you're not in your normal surroundings. It looks like you're in one of the finest kind of hotel chains in the country, and I'm expecting kind of Lenny Henry to be sat there off screen. Where are you?
This is correct. Wait, that's not my microphone. Yes. This week, I'm not, as you correctly would deduce, I'm not actually at our studios in lovely Leaf. I'm here with Lenny Henry. Where is he? No, he's just nipped out. We are here at the Premier Inn in lovely, beautiful Scunthorpe,
which lovely this time of year, I'm sure.
Town. It's cold, but we are here in lovely Scunthorpe in the north of England, for those who don't know, with our friends and colleagues at Team Hard Racing. This year, for the first time in 2 years, they are running a scholarship to find the next big racing talent. So we are here supporting Team Hard and the scholars as entrants as part of that. So that is why we are here. Scunthorpe. We've been speaking to, I think we've had over 60 drivers so far. There they all are, looking good. And we've been putting them through their paces, being around an assessor, and obviously filming as well. So watch out for that in a couple of weeks' time, where we will be sharing what happens at a scholarship event held by one of the UK's elite motorsport teams. Well, that is why, rather than being in the studio, I'm here.
It is fantastic. The guys at Team Hard are always brilliant, good friends of the show for us here. And well done to us as well. We are getting the inside scoop in one of the future driving stars of the UK. So we're really doing this for our own benefit. I think that's fair to point out. Like everything we do, let's be fair. Yeah. So we're Absolutely. Good friends with the future stars. They'll come. They'll give us more stuff. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. I'm delighted.
It makes
good planning.
It does make. Do you know what? Future planning. But you're absolutely right. We are still on the air, however. And this week, although being a slightly curtailed show, due to the fact that I am in a hotel room and that just looks weird, we have a number of subjects to cover this week. And unfortunately, they're not all the happiest. We, this week, unfortunately, have to say goodbye to one of the greats of the motorsport world. So we'll be giving our own little tribute to the great Sir Frank Williams. We need to talk about the fact there's something missing on your face. That's different. It has also been St Andrew's Day over the last 7 days, and we have a little explore of the great drivers that have given the world. There's a small race going on in the Middle East, which we shall discuss a little bit on in the show. I will, in fact, myself be, all being well, in the Middle East next week. So stay tuned for more information about that. And of course, we talk about this because why wouldn't we?
Absolutely.
Lots to look forward to. But we do start this week with the very sad and unfortunate news that one of the heavyweights of the motorsport world unfortunately left us on Sunday. The great Sir Frank Williams passed away at the age of 79 at the weekend. And very often that we will see the likes of that kind of man in the world, let alone in motorsport. But I think highly unlikely that we'll see his type again. So Frank Williams, who gave his name to the Williams F1 team, he very recently was the Williams team sold essentially, and not a family team anymore. But founded with a little more than a fiver, he managed to guide the team to a host of world championships, had some incredible drivers driving alongside that great brand as well. In total, the Williams team scored 114 Grand Prix victories, which is incredible when you think about the size of the team and where it started. Won an incredible number of drivers' titles. You got some greats like Villeneuve. You had Senna driving for them. But the first victory, the first championship and the first Constructors' Championship both came in 1980 with the Australian Alan Jones winning the drivers' title. Not a name often remembered in among some of the greats like Prost and Senna and Schumacher, but still an incredible achievement. And yeah, between 1981 and 1997, the team won 6 more drivers' championships and 8 more constructors' championships in that time. And of course, he had to fight adversity when at the age of 43, in 1986, he had a terrible crash on his way to airport in southern France, leaving him technically as a tetraplegic. So he was needing round-the-clock care, but he still managed to lead his team to some incredible victories. So I think it's fair to say that Sir Frank did more than his fair share for the world of motorsport and the world of F1. And if it wasn't for Williams, we wouldn't have Jason Plato. We wouldn't have some incredible cars like the Renault Clio Williams
absolutely.
as well. Just a whole host of stuff. So yeah, just from everybody here at Is It Fast, thank you, Frank, for doing what you did, because it changed the landscape. So sad week, so, but a life worth celebrating.
100%. F1 has truly lost one of the great and influential figures. When someone like Bernie Ecclestone comes away and says it's the end of an era, he obviously achieved so much in his heyday with his partner, Patrick Head, and he really just kind of changed the sport. Can you imagine starting your own private F1 team in an empty carpet warehouse and then overseeing 114 victories, 16 drivers? You ran off some of the names. Big one for me as well, and probably quite a lot of our generation, Nigel Mansell as well.
Yeah.
That was kind of the first one that I kind of was really aware of as well. Not many are going to leave a legacy like Frank. Obviously knighted in 1999, and even to the end, in a Williams team statement, for those wishing to pay tribute, we ask that any donations are made in place of gifts to the Spinal Injuries Association. Just wow. That kind of, for me, kind of sums up the man as well. Massive legacy, and yeah, thank you, Frank, and our thoughts and best wishes are with your friends and your family at this time.
Absolutely. And the name lives on, the team live on, and it looks like they're having a resurgence as well, which, let's be honest, is not a bad way to celebrate Frank himself. So sad news, but a life worth celebrating. But tell us in the comments, what are your best memories of the Williams teams? What did Frank Williams mean to you? And does this really mean, is it the end of Williams now because Frank has unfortunately left us? Tell us what you think in the comments. We'd love to hear it. I think, yeah, absolute giant of the sport, titan of the sport, visionary of F1. But yeah, unfortunately, time to say goodbye. And talking of goodbye, you don't have a mustache anymore.
No, I don't. No, as we are in the 1st of December, November is over for another year, and the mustache is gone, much to the delight or penance of kind of everyone who's enjoyed ridiculing me over the last month. But yeah, go on then. You can have one more shot.
I think it's really important we just visit this just one more time.
That
dear.
is clearly your favorite video. Yeah, there's
my
another
favourite one.
kind of 4 or 5 to pick from, but yeah, that's it. Yeah, my mother absolutely hates that video for reasons.
That's the winner. But we just need to say thank you to everyone for donating. Thank you for everyone to sharing. Stu raised incredible amount of money as he always does for a fantastic cause. So thank you, Stuart. Thank you for being the lip with the biggest hip. I don't know. Well done, mate. It means a lot. Well done to everybody. Thank you very much for doing anything that you did do to support Movember, whether that was through us, through Stu, or off your own back. We really, really appreciate it. Now,
Very much so.
you did well, mate. You did well, and we appreciate it. Now, it might have eluded some of you that Stuart has a very Scottish accent, and this week we celebrated St Andrew's Day, and St Andrew's Day is the national day of Scotland, and you know what? Let's visit Scotland and remind us of just the incredible driving talent that has come out of that country, past and present. And you'll be happy know that Paul DeResta doesn't seem to have made this list, which I think is hilarious. But we thought, let's have a little chat about the great Scottish drivers. So should we start with this chat?
Oh, why not? Absolutely. Who do we have on our screen right now?
Not a clue. What's his name, Stu?
Oh, how dare you? That's Dario Franchetti. How dare you?
Dario Franchetti. He is.
He, of course, is the 4-time Indy Car Series champion, winning in 2007, 2009, 2010, 2011, and he's also the 3 times winner of the Indianapolis 500. Massive, massive deal in America. Maybe not as well known in European soil, but he's also a winner of the 24-hour Daytona as well. So massive, massive influence stateside with very quick driving. A bit of an ill-fated move to the NASCAR series in 2008, which ended really after half a season, but he did return to IndyCar to massive fanfare. He has since retired, but phenomenal driver. There are times I've been in America speaking to driving fans. They will obviously speak about Dario when they know exactly where I'm from as well. And for me, he also gets a couple of bonus points because he used to be married to Ashley Judd, and I think that is something that should be celebrated as well. That is well worth it. But yeah.
That is worth celebrating. Okay, so
beautiful
Dario,
American actress lady. Yes,
very talented young lady. That is true.
Yeah, she is.
Yep, Dario, great Scottish driver. Of course, we have the great Jackie Stewart. Now, what a driver, what a man. I mean, he writes his own legendary status. He doesn't really need a lot of it.
He truly does. Well, that's it. Nicknamed the Flying Scotsman for obvious reasons, because he could go like an absolute train. Competed in F1.
I thought he had a plane.
Oh, he probably does have a plane. He's rich. He might have a plane.
Probably got a plane.
Yeah, we'll see. He's got a plane. That makes sense. Competed in F1 from 65 to 73, winning 3 World Drivers' Championships and finishing twice as runner-up over these 9 seasons. What more can you say? Narrowly missed out on his first attempt at winning the Indy 500 as well. Also competed in the Can-Am series in 1771. Was in partnership with his son Paul, where they had the Stewart Grand Prix F1 team as well. But he's also still very influential, very well thought of in the pits nowadays. He is actually F1 royalty, as far as I'm concerned. Do we have time for a very short story?
Please do.
So Jackie Stewart's racing car is in the National Museum of Scotland in Edinburgh, and I got stuck in it once, which is something I probably shouldn't say. We'll say that somebody close to me used to work in the museum, and they had an open evening with drinks and canapes and drinks and a tour and drinks, and you were allowed to kind of have a look around the exhibitions without the general public being there. And I climbed in Jackie Stewart's car. I am 6'4". I really should not have climbed in Jackie Stewart's racing car. I got stuck, and of a blind, mild panic, I had to worm my way out very, very quickly off it. So Yeah.
That is one of the best stories that has ever been on this show. That is incredible. Even I'd never
And
heard that, and I've known you a while. That is,
I thought I might as well share it, and I've not been to the museum in a while, so hopefully they'll have forgotten my face, so I might be able to go
that's
back at some point and
incredible. So
see.
Jackie Stewart, does he get your bill as top Scottish driver ever, or is it this guy, which is my personal favourite? I think Jim Clark, probably one of the best drivers in history, let alone to come out of Ecosse. I think the fact that this chap won championships in F1 in British touring cars in something else, was it F2?
Yes, he's certainly one very versatile driver, as you absolutely said. Competed in sports cars, touring cars, Indy 500 again, which he was a victor in. Very much associated with the Lucas Marquis, phenomenal car. Unfortunately, he was killed in a Formula 2 racing incident in '68 in Germany. West Germany, as it would have been at the time. But at the time of his death, he'd won more Grand Prix races and achieved more Grand Prix pole positions than any other driver. So stats to races, he's really a second to none. So much so that the Times in 2009 placed Jim Clark at the top of the greatest ever F1 drivers lists. Kind of says it all for me. Yeah,
it's
2
hard
world
to
championships. Argue. Yeah,
it's unreal. It's unreal. Jim Clark is one of my is my top driver of all time, and that's hard. I have a lot of drivers that I enjoy. I think are great. But if anyone says gun to my head, best driver of all time, in my opinion, it's Jim Clark every time, just because of the way that he behaved away from the track. But obviously his exploits on it as well. Had a great story up here from one of the guys at Team Hard. Grandmother was in the Young Farmers Club with Jim Clark, and apparently, So her grandmother.
We'll stop that. I think we can stop this story here. Or?
No. There was nothing seedy and sordid about it, but apparently fancied the pants off him, and I can see why. What a dashing fellow!
He's a handsome chap. Yeah, absolutely.
Handsome chap. So there you go.
He's what an F1 driver should look like. Yeah,
I know, right? Just exactly everything you imagine an F1 driver. So maybe this guy gets your vote as the best Scottish driver of all time, maybe even the best driver of all time. But drivers came out of Scotland. What about this fella? He's thinny, eh? David.
Yeah, we can.
Coulthard.
DC himself. DC. Yeah.
So
I believe he is a fan of the show. He does listen in. Yeah. So hey, Dave.
I have heard that he does listen. And David Coulthard's probably not reached the utter pinnacle of where he probably should have done.
I've always felt sorry for David, almost being a bit of a forgotten man of a very, very competitive F1 era dominated by Schumacher and even his own teammate, Mika Hakkinen. We do have to remember competing 15 seasons for Formula One, 13 Grand Prix victories, 62 podium finishes, even finished runner-up in 2001. No mean feat as well. And do you remember who he succeeded when he first came into F1?
Was it Senna?
You are absolutely correct, sir. Well done. 10 points to Gryffindor there. Well done. Put you on the spot as well. That was fantastic.
And I didn't research that either. I just knew it in my head.
Jeez, that's why I'm the other Stewart and you're Stewart. Yeah. That's
true.
I've been put in my place. There we go. I tried to trick you, but there you have it.
What an act to follow.
Well, exactly. Big shoes to fill there. Obviously, early F1 victories, moves from Williams to the McLaren team that was obviously most famous for. He's also finished third in the driving championships as well. Also drove early for Red Bull as well, pretty much at their infancy, and then went on to be a consultant for them. Very popular pundit on the TV still to this day, and is also the president of the British Racing Drivers Club as well.
Yeah.
So still got his influence there.
I think he's one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
Certainly good. Mhm. He's done. He did
Yes.
well. He did well. Probably not up against some of the company on this list of great Scottish drivers. Would be a very long list if we did all of them.
Yes.
But yes, DC, tell us in the comments: is he your favourite driver from Scotland? Is he one of the best drivers from Scotland? But we move
Yeah.
on to this real happy chappy. Not this happy chappy. This happy chappy. No, it's not a Gordon Strachan likey. Although, I mean,
Closer to Gordon Ramsay, maybe.
Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, well, that's less said about him.
Uh,
This
his daughter's
chappy
very
here.
good at dancing, apparently. There you
Yeah, well,
go.
I've heard that. Apparently, she's pretty
Hmm.
handy on her feet. This is Alan McMahon. For those of you who don't know who you're looking at, and Stuart,
Yeah.
tell us why you think he is one of the best drivers to come out of Scotland.
You know what? A little bit of a left fielder one for me. Definitely not a household name, but free time winner of the 24 Hours Le Mans. You and I have spoken very passionately in the past how much we love the Le Mans racing for it there.
Mm-hmm.
Free times winner, absolutely amazing. And also free times winner of the American Le Mans series as well.
Wow.
He's also won the IFA World Endurance Championship as well, and had a very, very short spell in F1 with Toyota in 2002 with 16 starts. Like probably towards the end of his career for it, but still kind of was able to kind of hold his own in a discipline not necessarily his. But for more fans of world racing, definitely a name that you're going to know. Probably not as well known on these shores, amazingly.
Yeah, yeah. Another one of the great Scottish exports to motorsport lands afar. Alan McNish, tell us in comments, is he one of the best drivers ever to come out of Scotland? Do you remember watching him when he was doing what he was doing best? And what did you think of him? And do you even know who he is? But as we move on and finish our list of
Oh,
what we think are the top drivers to come out of Scotland as we celebrate St Andrew's Day that was earlier on in the week, we finished this week with the man, the myth, the legend, the sorely missed
mm.
Colin McRae. The stories about this man are legendary. The fact that he shouldn't ever have got anywhere near being a world rally champion, but he did it. And he did it in style, and he did it with really not caring too much about the equipment. Colin McRae,
Um,
PlayStations everywhere made this man famous, didn't it?
Absolutely. The reckon he made between 3 and 4 million just from his PlayStation naming alone. Unbelievable. He was in 91 and 1992 the British Rally Championship, and in
Mm-hmm.
1995 he became the first Scot and the youngest person ever to win the World Rally Championship title. Some of the performances that he got out of that Subaru, unbelievable, really. And despite only being world champion once, he helped the team to win the manufacturers' titles 3 times from 95 to 97. What a record. 4 year spell with the Ford Motor Company as well. McRae winning 9 events, but again, big move to Citroen as well. Helped them win the titles, the manufacturer's title as well. Even took
Yeah,
part in the Le Mans in 2004. Sadly missed. Obviously, he was killed in a helicopter crash near his home with his son and 2 friends of the family as well with it. But as you said, he really got a lot of people in this country into rally carring, and whether it was from games consoles or actually just enjoying him driving a car pretty much to destruction,
mm-hmm.
and how meticulous he was, his planning and his preparation, they said, was second to none. That's how he was able to be the success he was. Absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Colin McRae, he got me into rally. I had a Skeletrix set of Colin McRae. Incredible stuff. Had the game. And a lot of people forget a couple of interesting things about McRae and the era in which he was in. First, little known fact, he actually did one round of the British Touring Car Championships. At
Ah,
stepped in for Pro Drive, driving a Ford, which not a lot of people know. And, well, actually, loads of people know that, but a lot of people forget. And he wrestled the championship, the World Rally Championship, away from an absolutely monstrously quick Carlos Sainz Sr. in the all-conquering Toyota Celica, if I'm correct, which at the time was a factory-backed team, nothing but cash, had already won 2 titles on the bounce, I think. This is all coming from a deep place of memory. And then he came in as a little young Scottish upstart who basically managed to tear ass around the borders. And then in he came and took this with... It wasn't a factory Subaru that this guy was driving, everybody. This was a non-factory drive, privateer entry, and he managed to win the World Rally Championship at his first attempt, was it?
I think it was, yes.
There's drivers and there's drivers, but tell us what you think. Colin McRae, best driver to come out of Scotland, one of the best drivers to come out of Scotland, or the single best driver to ever exist in the world of rally, considering what he managed to achieve. Tell us what you think, because the man was electric. What a list. What a list.
And please tell us if we've missed anyone. Yeah.
Yes, please do. Paul DeResta, please do ringers. 01227 777 You Can't Drive. I'm only joking. He's an incredible driver, but he didn't make the list. I don't know why. Inherently unlikable. Your trousers are too tight, Paul. Your trousers are too tight. Tell us in the comments, are Paul DeResta's trousers too tight? And the answer is yes. Stupidly tight. And we move. I've had a very long week.
You have, yeah. The Red Bull's kicking in for you, it's fine. Yeah.
It's starting to kick in. What we need is a championship-winning driver just to give us a bit of a breather.
Hi, I'm Lewis Kent, and you're watching Is It Fast?
Oh,
I
miss Lewis's mullet.
Lewis.
Yeah.
Yes, Lewis has chopped his mullet off.
Between the pair of us, come on! I've chopped the mustache off. He's chopped the mullet off. We were just an amazing hair team together. Let's be fair. Yeah.
You were certainly something. So the news this week that we are heading back to F1 after a short break, and we are heading for the first time ever. We are heading to Saudi Arabia. We are heading track at Jeddah. It's pretty tight at the moment in the F1 world, isn't it? We're heading into the penultimate round. It's the penultimate round, I believe.
We are. You're absolutely correct.
And it's never been closer. The track has never been raced. Experts in the world of track theory and the world of F1 are saying that this could be the most unpredictable Grand Prix ever. If Hamilton, you're probably going to shout at me because I think I'm probably going to steal some facts. If Hamilton wins this with fastest lap, what happens?
We roll on to the final race
with Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton tied in tops on exactly the same number of points. Of course, it would mean that Mercedes go into that final round ahead in the Constructors' Championship. It's all very tight stuff. What do you think is going to happen?
You know what? It is far too tight. We don't have any history for this, but God, that doesn't half make it interesting for us. As you kind of correctly said, if Max wins in Saudi, that's kind of it. It's game over. Lewis needs 2 wins. He's already had back-to-back. Can he do 4 wins? Because that's what he needs to win this championship. For me as well, the circuit, it kind of looks a lot like a butter knife to me, if you've seen it. So a lot of long straights. That's going to favour the faster car, which, of course, right now is Lewis Hamilton. Still a lot of controversy dancing around with regards to the engine swapping and things like that. Alonso insisting once again that Hamilton should be set back further in the grid for changing his engine for a 5th time. But he's already been hit with a 10-place penalty from the Turkish Grand Prix for his 4th engine season. That's kind of the maximum amount. They've kind of done this. For me, Alonso's just been a little bit better. From it, obviously, him and Lewis are no strangers, but Lewis kind of really took him to school when Lewis was still a bit of a rookie. And And yeah, I don't know what's really stopping Red Bull doing the same thing. Nothing.
I know. I think they've just run
they're
out of
just
puff,
a little.
mate.
Yeah, they're kind of whinging right now. I'm allowed to say whinging because Red Bull don't have the fastest car anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. I did not see this being the case. I think that Lewis would be able to bring it back, but he has. He has, like you say, he needs another 2 wins on the spin. He's already had 2 wins on the spin. It won't be the first time in his career that he's won 4 Grand Prix races in a row. Like I said the other week, I still think Lewis is now potentially to lose. It's still a really tough slog. Max is, I suppose, theoretically still holding the upper hand, but there's an awful lot that can happen. What do you think's going to happen in Jeddah? Tell us in the comments. Is Max going to roundhouse him and walk away with the victory? Or could Sir Lewis of Hamiltonshire continue his run and get what he needs, which is a win? And then we head to the final in Abu Dhabi with Lewis Hamilton just needing to seal it out with a win. Tell us what you think. And tell us what you think of the track layout in Jeddah. If you've seen it, as Stewart accurately described it, it's basically a butter knife. It will favour the quicker cars. We've got no history of performance for tyres, cars, or teams. So it does mean that it has got all to play for. The one thing that we can tell you for certain is that you are going to want to keep up with the results of that championship. But the best way to do that is to check this out.
Results Hub. All motorsport results, all in one place. And now there's an app. Take results with you on the go as we bring you the latest standings from championships around the world. And there's more. Use the app to see who is racing and where with our handy calendar feature. Download the app now. Results Hub. All motorsport results, all in one place.
That's right, all motorsport results, all in one place, thanks to the lovely, lovely team at Results Hub. Head to Results Hub on your iOS device, be it a phone or a phone, and download it for free. They've also got a website, head to resultshub.com. Make sure that you put your free details in, make a free account, keep up to date with all the latest results from your favourite championships. Make sure that you do that because there is an awful lot coming from Results Hub next year. We're very excited about that. Just as excited as our producer Alex is back. Alex is back with us for the first time in 3 months. Don't worry, he never left the company, but he did leave my company. He was no longer by us. So, Alex, come and say hello.
Here, boy. Here, boy.
I've forced him into this. Oh, look at that.
There he is.
Producer Alex. Producer Alex is the man. He does exist. He's the man behind the scenes. He does an awful lot, if not all of our camera work, editing work. Tells the rest of the team what to do. Tells me what to do. Tells other Stu what to wear. And there he is. There he is. Right, you're done. You're done. Go away now. So there we go.
I want to say that kind of waving and thumbs up really is going to work well on the audio. Thanks for that, Alex.
Well done, mate. All good. But we move on to what is arguably another part of the show where we talk about what, Stu?
We talk about watches. That's right, boys and girls. It's time for TikTok.
It's time for TikTok. Every single week, we scour the internet for the latest, almost interesting news from the world of watches. And this week is no different. But because we enjoy cars, we also enjoy the world of watches. When they slam together in a world of expensive loveliness, this is sometimes what happens. So this week on TikTok, we would like to share with you this. Quite an interesting piece. Looks incredible. For those of you listening, you are missing out. This is the Singer Reimagined Track 1 Bold Edition. That's right, Control B. You are witnessing something from Singer. Now, those of you who are thinking, now Singer, that is a brand I've heard before, but in the car world, you would be right. This is a company born between an encounter from Rob Dickinson, founder and creative director of Singer Vehicle Design, the people behind those lovely retro-modded Porsches, and another guy whose name I didn't write down. Yes, I did. Marco Borrachino. Their goal has been to reimagine high watchmaking, in particular the chronograph, which is what this is. Distilling the essence of the classic stopwatches of the 1960s and 70s, their idea was to place a radical focus on functionality. And this particular watch manufacturer was founded back in 2009. The Bold Edition has got a 43mm barrel-shaped case of Singer Reimagined Track 1, comes in black ceramic aluminium contrasting with the golden accents on its dial. Ceramic aluminium is obtained by electroplasma oxidation. What does that mean? It's an incredible piece of watch engineering, and I guess people want to know how much it costs, because that's what you always ask me, isn't it?
It is. I must say, but before we get to that, if I may interject,
Please.
This was unveiled at Dubai Watch Week. How am I just hearing about this? Dubai Watch Week. Why are we not going to Dubai Watch Week as part of TikTok?
We're not going to Dubai Watch Week as part of TikTok because I have spent the Is It Fast budget, and I'm going to Dubai next week, where I will be presenting a very special set
spoilers.
of programs to do with our boats, as long as I can get on the plane, which I don't want to jinx.
Well, when you sent me the Singer Reimagined, I genuinely thought you were stitching me up, sending me to a sewing machine themed watch. I really, really like the material strap on it, stitching design down the edge. I do have an opinion about blunt needles, but it's pointless. For us, it does look absolutely phenomenal. The two rotating discs and the index of the 6 o'clock. It's for those listening, all the chronographs are within the watch face. Absolutely beautiful. The black ceramic aluminium coating on it as well, but there's a lot of nice gold accents on the dial. They are limited to 25 watches. Stu, how much is it?
Well, this is where I'm going to confuse people. It's 48,500 Swiss francs.
Which
I don't know what that is in dollars or pounds.
Oh, I do. I want to say for once I've done a bit of homework. It is ballpark 39,500 Great British pounds. That's how much a French franc is. I did not know that. Like a broken sewing machine, the price seems a little off. It's a beautiful watch, but I don't know if it's £40,000 worth of watch.
I mean, everything about Singer is expensive. Their cars are extraordinarily expensive, aren't they? And it's because of their attention to detail. If you're asking my opinion,
we are
excellent. I think it's great. I think it looks great. I love how they've reimagined the chronograph. I love how it looks like an oldie worldy stopwatch. I think that's all very clever. I think the price is prohibitive, but that's the point. There are watches on this world that when you read the price, you think, I don't see how they've got there. I don't understand how they've got there in terms of craftsmanship or in terms of just, frankly, the materials. You've just put a nice big price tag on it. I will say that I don't think Singer have done that. I think because of Singer's background and how they deal with their Porsches, which is kind of my world and how I understand that being done, I think if they've put half of the amount of effort, material, knowledge, know-how, and passion into the watch, I think that's £39,000 well spent, if you have it. I also think that this is one of those rare watches where it will increase in value, and they've probably sold all 25 to people that bought the Porsche.
I don't doubt that for a second. Yeah, it is a beautiful watch. Bit strange that you've not necessarily got the brand recognition from it. That's going to potentially put people off. Or if you're spending 40,000 on the watch, I don't think you're the kind of person that's put off whether you kind of recognize the name or not. I really like it. If I had 40,000 to spend on a watch, I'm still not sure I would go for one singular watch. It would be this one, but it is very nice. Wrapping up, yeah. I did have a few more sewing machine jokes, but I've run out of material.
Oh God, you've got me in cross stitches. So, boom. Thank you very much. But thank you very much to Singer for bringing us a wonderful watch on this Tick Talk for the week. But tell us in the comments, what do you think of Singer going into the watch world? They've been around for a little while. Should they stick to Porsches, or are they also worth wrapping round your wrist, not just wrapping round trees when you lose control of that 911 Resto mod? And thus brings to our conclusion TikTok, Tick-Talked, but also gets us to the end of our show, Stu.
Well, almost does, Stu. We wanted to finally talk. It's that time of year again, boys and girls. That's right. We get a little bit of ice and a little bit of snow on the ground, and everybody loses their friggin' minds and forgets how to drive. The gritters are out for winter. Now, the guys and girls who drive the gritters to be our heroes, really apart from the ones that do the school routes, I'm still better about them and they can rot in hell. But the Scottish gritters have risen, obviously working on our St Andrews theme again. The Scottish gritters have risen to prominence in recent years due to the hilarious names that a website allows you to also track their movements. And people love naming these. There's a total of 230 salt spreading ploughing machines across a number of routes in Scotland, which is absolutely fantastic. I do have some of the hilarious names. May I share?
Please do. And if you're watching, you will be able to see the map right now with some of the ploughs out and about. So, Stu, while you share some of your favourite names, let's see if anybody else has a wee look at some of the names on this gritter tracker. But go on, please tell us.
Super. Well, I've honestly managed to pick like a top 15. The list is absolutely hilarious. Definitely worth checking this out. Right at the top for me is Chili Connolly, named after famed Scottish comedian. We do like our music in Scotland. He might not be Scottish, but you can go see David Plowie as well. A bit of a Bond theme one for your ice only. Roald Dahl, I'm sure he went to Scotland at some point. BFG, Big Friendly Gritter. If you're into your heavy metal music, Gritalica.
Brilliant.
To stop you skidding, you can obviously get yourself behind it. Gritty, Gritty, Bang, Bang. Star Wars fans out there, Hand Snowlow, of course. Bit of a Queen theme one now. I Want to Break Freeze. And if you like your music from a little bit more modern, Lou Ice Capaldi. Since this is a motor show, we all remember one of our first kind of celebrity car crushes, Penelope Gritstop.
Yes, that's one of my favourites.
Absolutely. Sure, there is a gritter out there called I Grit You Not. Love that. Plower of Scotland, obviously after the national anthem there.
That's your nickname, isn't
it? Steady. Another sporting star, Sir Andy Flurry. Very good. And probably my favourite, one of the new ones, captivating on the recent, I'm going to say success. Yeah, I'm going to say success of the Scottish national football team. Yes, sir, Ice can boogie. Number one, let's never underestimate the public to put a lot more time and effort into something that doesn't actually matter. But this is great fun. I've loved this. I was chuckling away to myself going through the list.
There's some incredible ones on there, right? You know, I mean, right now, out there on the roads in Scotland, there's Snowbother.
Oh,
right
fantastic.
Now. Yes, Sir, Ice Can Boogie is out there on the roads right now as well. License to Chill. One of them is not out there right now. Is Salt Disney.
Salt Disney. That's a good one.
That one's not out there. But there you go. Like you say, if it doesn't matter, the public most for it. Gritters in Scotland, the best names possibly in the world. Please do head over to arcgis.com, arcgis.com, to see what the spreader game is called. The ice salt spreaders, ice gritters. The gritters are out in force in Scotland, and they have the best names in the world. Thank you very much for as that, Stuart, because that is a touch of class and salt to
Oh,
proceedings.
fantastic. And if I can just ask, if anyone from Edinburgh Council is listening, why do you never grip my mum's streets? There's nothing I can do about it, but she'll complain to me about it every year. Can you please just grip my mum's roads? I will be eternally. She's on a bit of a hill, and it's no funny watching the cars just skid and things like that. But please do it. She seems to kind of totally understand what I do. But there you go. Thanks, Mum.
Edinburgh Council, get gritting. That's all we need to know. But on that icy note, it's time to say goodbye for another evening, another week, another live Is It Fast. Thank you very, very much for watching. Thanks for being part of the show. If you've been watching, then thank you very much for staring at our beautiful faces. If you've been listening, thanks very much for taking us with you on your journey, wherever that may have been. Perhaps maybe you're having a nice deep bath and we've been keeping you company. Who knows? But one thing is for sure, if you've listened, watched, learned, liked, been informed, entertained, or just learned something ever so slightly new, please do make sure to follow us on your social media platforms to make sure that you keep up with all the latest news, reviews, and sporting interviews from the team here at Is It Fast. Remember that we do much more than just. We also bring you live motorsport highlights from some of the biggest and best championships across the world, as well as interesting tidbits from drivers, the world of automotive, and frankly, anything that goes a little bit too quick for comfort. Thank you, as always, to other Stu for keeping us on the straight and narrow. As always, thank you very much, sir. It has been
Thank you very
a
much
pleasure.
for having me again.
Never a chore. Let me say from everybody in the communal world of content creation, a big sod off to creator and producer Alex as I throw this mini carton of milk at him directly live. He caught it. I'm in trouble. This is a worry for everybody. But he said he's thrown it back. But thank you very much for watching. And until next week, where we have something very special to show you. We've been working on this for a long, long time. We won't ruin it for you, but you would be completely out of your remote mind to miss it. That doesn't make sense. But thank you ever so much for watching, listening, and being a part of Is It Fast Live, as always. But from me and other Stu, thank you very much, and we shall catch you the very